So this is Mortimer Handee from the game Hello Puppets, and I've decided to bring him from the game into reality. Now I'm a bit of a nut job, so I didn't record any of my process, but I can talk to you about it and I can show you the results, and I think those might be interesting at least to a few select people. So when I started this project, I knew that it was possible to rip a 3D model directly out of a game. I just didn't know how to do it, and so I found someone online who had already done that, who had uploaded a model of Mortimer for free to some kind of 3D platform. If I find it again, I will put a link in the description, but I don't know if it's still up. I don't know how legal it is to do that. This model, of course, was pretty low poly because that's how games work. So effectively the only things I could use from this model were the head and the hands, and everything else I had to remodel or reshape or just make out of a non-3D printed material. I then made a body out of EVA foam and I put on his arms just as a test. And his arms are just sticks and they're gonna stay sticks for the entirety of the process. He doesn't need more arm. Now I printed pretty much everything in resin, which was a stupid idea, especially for the hands. Like the head is fine, but the hands are very, very fragile. And I think I should have probably printed those in a hard TPU. When it came to the mechanisms, I had to make a few decisions. Number one, his eyelids in the game are all movable, so his upper and his lower eyelids are movable. And I know that it's possible to do a mechanism like that. To be quite honest, I've worked on puppets before, but when it comes to these kinds of mechanisms, that was usually something that was up to someone else. And so this was my first time really getting into the nitty-gritty of these mechanisms, so I wanted to keep it quite simple, and that's why I decided to only make his upper eyelids move and the lower ones are staying in the low position. His jaw was relatively easy. I put in 2 metal rods that connect from the handle, so he has a handle in his stomach and go up into his brain essentially. And these are parallel to each other, basically like train tracks, and the jaw has little metal hoops that are looping around these train tracks, and that's how it's kept in place. It might not be the most sturdy thing that humankind has ever seen, but it's definitely functional. A question I got quite often, especially in real life, less so online, was, is that wood? And as you already know, the answer is no. He's not made out of wood. Pretty much nothing is wood. A few of the mechanism part in his head are wood actually, and his arms and the handle that he has in his stomach are all wood, but none of that is visible, and all the visible, in quotation mark, wood pieces are actually not wood, they are just painted. I just think that's kind of funny. I don't know if you think it's funny as well, and I just think it's pretty cool, and I feel kind of proud that I managed to trick so many people with this pretty simple wood painting technique. Something funny about this character is that he has a stain that is only on his tie, and it's a stain that has a shape that looks like it should continue onto his jacket, which it doesn't, so it kind of feels like he at some point switched his jacket but not his tie, which would be kind of silly. Or it kind of suggests that his jacket is supposed to be black, but in most screenshots I could find it looked grayish more so than black. So I decided to make it grey, but also with puppets you often work with a black backdrop, and it's just not practical if the character you're working with has black clothing in front of a black backdrop. He's just gonna disappear into the background, so that's why I decided to make his shirt grey. It might not be the most accurate thing. Again, I'm not sure if his shirt is supposed to be grey or black, but it's definitely more practical. Either way, the stain on his tie doesn't continue to the jacket, and his vest is the only thing that looks dusty, and I feel like dust, whether the jacket is black or dark grey, should continue onto the jacket. Like, dust should be visible on the jacket, especially on the shoulders and stuff like that. But no, I just find that to be so silly and kind of charming about him. It doesn't make any sense, but it's pretty cute. I think that's all I have to say about him. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to build more things in that direction, so if you have any kind of things you want, or just things you want to see me build, yeah, leave me a comment or something. And I guess I should probably plug my channel, so subscribe if you want to see me make more stuff. And with that, I am gonna say goodbye, but I have a little treat for you. So I found a scene from the game that I thought was pretty doable with what I had and with the puppet I had built. So I kind of stole the audio from the voice actor's channel. There's a link to his channel in the description. It's not a 1-by-1 recreation, but I think it turned out pretty well. So if you give me another 30 seconds of your time, you can have a look at that.
Why all the fuss? You're lost in your mind, and your body belongs to us. This